Did you know that behind the dazzling fame and stardom, Elvis Presley harbored a dark secret that foreshadowed his tragic end? Today, we're diving into shocking revelations from Elvis' own bodyguard, exposing a pattern of self-destructive behavior that led to the king of rock and roll's untimely demise. Join us as we explore the paradox of Elvis' glamorous yet hazardous lifestyle, his alarming drug use, and the intimate insights from those who knew him best. Stay tuned as we uncover the complex layers behind the spectacle of his public life and the stark reality that haunted his private moments. 4. The inner circle's concern. In the twilight years of his career, Elvis Presley, once the unstoppable force in rock and roll, found himself grappling with a deteriorating health situation that alarmed those closest to him. As the pressures of fame and the demands of his hectic lifestyle mounted, Elvis increasingly turned to a regimen of pharmaceuticals to navigate his day-to-day life. Those within his inner circle, friends and employees alike, watched with growing concern as the king relied on pills to fall asleep and to summon the energy to face the day. This escalating dependency on medication did not go unnoticed, nor was it without significant worry from those who cared for him. Elvis' bodyguards, who spent countless hours by his side, observed firsthand the impact of his drug use. Red West, one of his most trusted protectors, candidly expressed his dismay over Elvis' reliance on pills, noting in a stark revelation, "His system doesn't work anymore like a normal human being's. The pills do all the work for him. He is a walking pharmaceutical shop." This statement from someone within Elvis' trusted circle underscores the severity of his condition, painting a somber picture of a superstar overshadowed by his own dependence on medication. 3. Insights from the bodyguards. Elvis Presley's final years were marked not only by the glitz of celebrity, but also by a profound struggle with addiction, which became increasingly evident to those closest to him. His bodyguards, Dave Hebler and Red West, were witnesses to this harrowing decline. Both bodyguards have shared poignant details about the extent of Elvis's reliance on a cocktail of prescription drugs. Red West described Elvis as a walking pharmaceutical shop, indicating a severe dependence that dictated his daily functioning. Dave Hebler, in particular, offered a disturbing perspective on the situation, viewing it as a form of slow suicide. Hebler observed Elvis's behaviors and concluded that the music icon was well aware of the destructive path he was on, yet seemed powerless or unwilling to alter his course. Hebler's reflections reveal a man who, despite having access to the best medical care and resources that could offer help, instead chose a path that seemed to guarantee his self-destruction. This tragic paradox, that Elvis could have had anything he wanted, yet seemed to choose his own demise, is at the heart of the narrative that surrounds his final days. Hebler and others around Elvis could not reconcile the star's immense capabilities and resources with his harmful choices. It paints a picture of a man who, despite having the means to lead a different life, appeared tragically bent on a fatal trajectory. This contradiction raises profound questions about the pressures of fame and the hidden battles that often accompany public adoration. 2. The physical and psychological toll. Elvis Presley's consumption of drugs was not only extensive but also varied, encompassing a wide range of prescription medications. According to those in his inner circle, he regularly used amphetamines, barbiturates, and narcotics, including powerful painkillers like Percodan, which are typically reserved for terminal cancer patients. This regimen was far from benign, as it was intended to manage everything from his mood to his energy levels, both of which were essential for maintaining his public persona and grueling performance schedule. The physical toll of this drug use was starkly evident when compared to his earlier years. Initially known for his dynamic energy and robust health, Elvis gradually became a shadow of his former self. His bodyguards, who observed him both in public and private moments, noted significant changes in his physical appearance and stamina. The once vibrant star, known for his electrifying performances, was increasingly lethargic and bloated, a direct consequence of his sustained and excessive drug use. Beyond the physical effects, Elvis's psychological state also underwent a disturbing transformation. Priscilla Presley, his former wife, provided intimate insights into his psyche, particularly regarding his views on mortality. She noted that Elvis was profoundly impacted by the early death of his mother and seemed to harbor a deep-seated belief that he too would have a short life. According to Priscilla, this belief was not fleeting, but rather a chronic mindset that influenced many of his decisions and may have fueled his neglect of his health. This perspective sheds light on the complexity of Elvis's character, intertwining his personal fears with his public struggles, ultimately painting a picture of a man who felt trapped by his fame and haunted by a premonition of early death. 1. The culture of Elvis entourage. Elvis Presley's entourage lived a lifestyle that was as extraordinary and exhausting as the icon himself. To keep pace with Elvis, who was constantly on the move and driven by a cocktail of stimulants and sleeping pills, his closest associates found themselves adopting similar habits. The entourage, often referred to as the Memphis Mafia, included friends, assistants, and bodyguards who were not just part of his social circle, but integral to maintaining the facade of the energetic superstar the public adored. Sonny West, one of Elvis's longtime bodyguards, recounted numerous instances that highlighted the extremes they went to just to manage sleep amidst the chaos. He shared tales of how, during film shoots or concert tours, they would sneak away from the buzz of activity surrounding Elvis to catch a few moments of rest. They would often find refuge in vacant studios or behind the sets, hiding under props to sleep while Elvis, high on energy and drugs, continued his relentless schedule. This clandestine approach to catching up on sleep was their only respite in a whirlwind of endless engagements and nighttime activities. As the years progressed, the difficulty of maintaining such an intense lifestyle grew exponentially. The physical and mental strain began to take its toll on everyone, including Elvis. The cycle of stimulants to wake up and sedatives to sleep created a dependency it was hard to escape. The group increasingly relied on the very substances that propelled them through the day and allowed them to wind down at night. The regimen became more rigorous, and the quantities of drugs more substantial as their bodies adapted and their tolerance increased. This unsustainable lifestyle not only affected their health, but also deepened the sense of foreboding that hovered over their collective future, marking a path that was becoming increasingly hard to sustain. Conclusion. Elvis Presley's journey towards self-destruction is a tale marred by the pitfalls of fame and the heavy toll it exacts on those it touches. His reliance on a myriad of drugs to manage every aspect of his life, from sleep to performance energy, reveals a man overwhelmed by the pressures of his iconic status. Insights from his close circle, including the stark observations from his bodyguards and the emotional reflections from Priscilla Presley, paint a vivid picture of a superstar whose bright external image was overshadowed by internal chaos and despair. Reflecting on Elvis' tragic narrative, one can't help but ponder what might have been done differently. His friends and associates witnessed his decline, yet the support systems that might have intervened effectively seemed insufficient against the powerful dynamics of fame and the personal enablers within his entourage. Could a different approach by those around him, offering not just compliance but also real help and intervention, have altered his fate? This story prompts us to question the broader implications of celebrity culture on personal responsibility. How much of one's own downfall is self-inflicted, and how much is compounded by an environment that feeds off the very spectacle it creates? Does the public and those who surround celebrities have a role in perpetuating destructive behaviors by prioritizing the persona over the person? These questions challenge us to think critically about fame and its deep impact on human behavior and mental health.